It's Madden NFL 24 on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Lions and the BUCS, and it's coming up next.
Well, the Florida humidity is certain to be a factor in this one. There's no other way to say it, really. It is hot. It is humid here at Raymond James Stadium in Tampa. Today we've got an intriguing NFC matchup lined up here, as it'll be the Detroit Lions taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Well, Charles, September is here. The 2023 season just about to get started. So many storylines to pay attention to. What are you most keeping an eye on as the start of the season moves closer?
Well, partner, I'm glad you asked, because we're going to start, obviously, Aaron Rodgers and the Jets. That's a huge story. How about Kansas City? Could they win their third title in 5 years? We know some teams are trying to get there. Buffalo, Cincinnati, Philadelphia, San Francisco, all should contend. And how about some of those sleeper teams? I think the Chargers of Pittsburgh in the AFC, Carolina, Detroit in the NFC. It's going to be an exciting season.
Here's the former Illini kicker Chase McLaughlin to get us started. And off we go from Tampa. And we will not get a run back here to start. It's a touchback, and it will come out to the 25. Well, the Lions offense getting ready to go to work here. And under center, a man whose career has been rejuvenated a bit as of late. And season number 8 now out of Cal, it's Jared Goff.
Rumors of Goff's demise? Greatly exaggerated, it seems. Boy, what a big year he had last year. 29 touchdowns and led the Lions to their first winning season since 2017. Under his leadership, the Lions expect to make the playoffs for the first time in a few seasons.
The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down. Goff now to throw. He gets this out wide to Gibbs. So the completion gets him just a yard. And this will wind up being a 3rd and 3. Goff now looks to throw. That is caught. And he is going to have a Lions first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert here on 3rd and 3. Well, they kept it simple there, CD, only needing the short gain to move the chain, so they didn't want to go with a deep throw. They just go with that safer, shorter throw and able to convert.
Nothing wrong with that at all, partner. Check the box, right? Make sure you pick up the first down. Offense is getting established. You're moving the ball. You're not turning it over. Check, check, check. They like what they're doing early in the game.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete.
And that might have been a situation where even though you don't hit on the deep throw, you at least put in the defenders' minds early in the game that we're going to press the ball deep against your secondary. And that can have a ripple effect on how they function throughout.
On second down, here's Gibbs. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. A big run there, 29 yards and a first. There was a great article in the paper yesterday about how he likes to run angry. Plays like that, you can feel it, can't you?
As long as he doesn't drive angry, we're okay. Because when he's on the field, that anger works for him. It fuels him, it powers him, and the end result runs like that.
So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10, down at the 33. Now it's Goff. Throw over the middle, he finds Williams. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's second down. Here's Goff. Throw left side complete. That's Gibbs. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. That goes for a gain of 31.
We expected this defense to be tested by this passing game coming into this one, and there's an example on this first possession of the game.
We gotta get it this one group.
First and goal, a chance for an early statement here on the road. Goff. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sack back around the 8. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Well, surprise, surprise. First and goal at the 1. No quarterback sneak. No running play. They decided to throw for it, but the pressure got to them quickly and put the quarterback down.
Straight ahead with Gibbs here. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 41 yards rushing for him now to this point. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
Now Goff on 3rd and goal. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. Levante David in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down.
We always talk about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. On 4th down, Goff to the sidelines, and Detroit has Riley Patterson out there for the field goal. Patterson's kick is good, and the Lions are going to take a 3-0 lead. Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And bulldozing his way through. And a nifty return there all the way across the 40. So here are the Buccaneers ready to go on offense with a new man at the helm here for 2023 in his 6th season now in the NFL, Baker Mayfield.
The former #1 overall pick has had his ups and downs in recent seasons, but he finished strong last year and inherits a really good offense in Tampa that should set him up for success.
Now a 3rd-round pick a year ago. Here's Rachaad White. And he takes it past the 45, down at the 46. Tackle there by Alex Anzalone. Here's a 2nd and 5. Play fake. Mayfield. He'll leave this one for White.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. It was a running back who was a receiver on the play. Ike's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd went to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
3rd and short yardage. Mayfield. He's got his target. That's complete. And he's going to have the Bucs first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. When you give up points on the opening drive, in this case a field goal, you'd hate to go 3 and out. They avoid that.
They do, and it's also walking that fine line mentally, too, as a coach, isn't it? Because you want to emphasize to your team exactly what you said. All right, we gave up a field goal. Let's go back and at least equal that, guys. But if we don't, you don't want them to feel like it's the end of the world either. Nice that they were able to pick up the first down there, help them relax a little bit.
First down, here's White. And a fast footwork by White. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A big hitter there, a first down gain of 26 yards. Looked like they picked a heck of a time to run on the counter.
And we've been saying that in this great game of football probably since we started playing. Anytime you get guys thinking you're going to go one way and you hit back the opposite side, it's a great chance it can turn into the type of play we just saw there, a big gainer.
And he'll get 4 there, down to about the 12-yard line. Now a 2nd and 6. Opting to run again here with White. And he'll take this one inside the 10, down to the 8. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down? Mayfield off the play fake. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Detroit was up for the challenge through the air. They force a 4th down.
What an excellent defensive stand there in the red zone. Nice tight coverage. They certainly recognized how important it was to bring up 4th down here.
Now the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3. They'll run for it. This is White. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Rashad White, an 8-yard touchdown run. And the Bucs' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. You get down this deep, Charles, you hate to settle for a field goal. They roll the dice on 4th down, really just hoping to get that first. But as it turns out, they take it all the way into the end zone.
You mentioned that they took a little bit of a gamble there. Think about it this way. Most teams throw the ball in this situation in the NFL, so they really gamble with a running play, and boy, did it pay off. Pay dirt.
Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. Here comes Khalif Raymond from his end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Back onto the field come the Lions for their 2nd overall drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
They'll wind up getting just a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Let's go do this thing, baby.
Goff now looking to throw. Throwing left sideline there, but it's incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. From the gun, here's Goff. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have a Lions 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Well, there wasn't much of a window there, Charles. Had to deal with a couple of defenders, but able to find his big tight end.
And, partner, we know double coverage is a challenge for any player to try to defeat. But maybe it's a little easier if you're one of those big tight ends because you have a size advantage on just about anyone trying to cover you, and you can use your body to create some space.
To the air again, Goff. And that's hauled in by St. Brown over the middle. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. 2nd and a couple. Counter play, here's Gibbs. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt, I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Lions 1st down as he'll be marked down a yard or 2 past the marker following a gain of 6.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the 1st. Now left side, a completion to his tight end. He'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9. A gain of 37.
Running their plays over and over during the week can often get robotic for an offense, but on game day, they can often flow smoothly, as that one just did.
The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. They'll run with Montgomery. Only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8. Here's 2nd and goal, operating from the 8-yard line. Now Goff. And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
In the red zone, precision is the watchword. If the throw's a little too early, too late, maybe off a little bit, there'll be a good chance that any attempt is going to be a contested one, and that one falls incomplete.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. Another good drive, Charles, but it looks like another that might end in a field goal try.
They've made some nice plays. They've given themselves opportunities, but as you noted, another field goal attempt coming up. And that's not how they want to end drives. They've got to figure out what's the final touch that they need to push it across the goal line.
Yeah, still yet to find the end zone. Patterson's kick is good. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. So 2 first-quarter field goal attempts for him, and he's converted on both.
I like the positive right there. 2 for 2, got the points on the board. The negative side is they didn't score touchdowns. And, of course, going forward in this game, that's going to be the aim, and hopefully he'll be kicking extra points instead.
So we're back to a 1-point game now as the kickoff comes. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And able to get this out to the 25. Tampa Bay, they're getting ready to set up shop here for their 2nd drive. First and 10, and kind of tipping their hand at running the ball. 3 tight ends are out there. They start the drive with White. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
It's showtime, baby.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Mayfield looks to throw. And there's a short one taken in by Otten. Short completion, just 4 yards. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. 66 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating him up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. They keep it on the ground. White again. And he's going to get it across the midfield stripe into Lion territory.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Here is 3rd down and 4. Throwing, Mayfield. And that one is incomplete. And it also concludes quarter number 1. After one, a 1-point game, 7-6. Second quarter now in Tampa Bay. It's the Buccaneers in control of the football as they've got it with a 4th down coming up. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. Yeah, Detroit back in possession of the football. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side,
maybe a little gassed,
yeah,
right?
A little tired. And if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting upfield, only giving up 3. They don't exactly feel like they've handled the offense.
Play action. It's Goff. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
2nd and short, that's a rundown, so it's definitely a good time to go play action if you're feeling it. And they do so and pick up a 1st down.
So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 47. Now a play fake, and it's Goff. Complete to right. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long.
In today's NFL, we're accustomed to the tight end getting downfield and creating plays and wreaking a little havoc in the secondary. Not on this one, though. They diagnosed that one really well.
Tried the dump off, lost yardage. The Lions on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Here's Goff. Setting up the screen. This is Gibbs. And he is going to have a Lions 1st down. They needed 3. He doubled that. He got 6.
And this pass rush has really been bringing the heat and has already gotten home a few times here in the 1st half. So how about the play call there? Sometimes if you can't protect, you've got to fool them. Screen passes like that can take a little steam out of what's been a relentless rush so far.
Goff throwing again. A little short pass here taken in by Laporta. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The Lions passing game in sync now. They've got another 1st down.
They've looked his way quite a bit, and in my estimation, as well they should.
Well, that's now 5 catches in this 1st half alone.
And he picks up another 1st down. He's been an important part of their offense here early.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Gibbs straight ahead. Nifty move. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. Two yards to go, 2nd down. To throw is Goff. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Levante David. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half. These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles, and that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance. They've got to get the ball.
Under pressure, they got him again. That's Kalijah Cansey in to get him down. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
On 4th down, Goff to the sidelines, and Detroit has Riley Patterson out there for the field goal. It'll be a 49-yard attempt from the left hash. Patterson's kick is good. And they jump back in front here. It's 9-7. So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive gets them 3, not 6.
Is it okay if I give credit to both sides on this one?
Absolutely.
All right, let's start defensively. They hung in there. 10-play drive, but they stiffened when they got close to the goal line, made them kick a field goal. And for the offense, 10-play drive. They might be a little disappointed they got a field goal, but they moved the ball down the field with dispatch and came away with points.
Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Well, Rashad White and the rest of this Tampa Bay offense going back to work now. And the ground game's been good, but they're losing here in the second quarter. Can they use that ground game maybe to work the air attack a little bit more?
I think so, because now you can throw play action off of being able to run the ball effectively. And oftentimes you might want to just swing your back out of the backfield, get the ball in his hands in open space, and just don't get totally away from running it, because some of these runs now, they may pop bigger as the game goes along.
Yeah, they've been good with the run so far. 2nd down and 4. Play action now. Here's Mayfield. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. 2 yards on the pickup there. And now we've got a 3rd down and 3.
I'm wondering if the same thing went through your mind as mine. When I see a big man like that make a catch, all I keep thinking to myself is, big man with football. Look out, everyone. He may not juke you a whole lot, right? He may not run past you because of his size. You're talking about a guy weighing in the 270 range. But, boy, once he gets his mitts on the ball, he's going to be tough to bring down.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times, because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
White running to the left. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down. Here's 2nd and 7. Mayfield now. There's a short one taken in by And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 25-yard line. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
He's certainly done a nice job spreading the field on this drive, and here he finds his big tight end for good yardage. And that's what you have to do. Keep defenses guessing about where you're going to go with the football.
A quick throw caught by Evans out wide. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. More muscle up front for this 2nd and 2. They've got 3 tight ends out there. Now back to the ground game with White. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up 1st and goal. The running game fully in sync, 1-11 on that play.
And sometimes it comes from the offensive coordinator, understanding what he thinks the defense is going to do and dialing up the perfect play. Sometimes the quarterback, though, can look at the defense, realize he needs to...
And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Rashad White with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Bucs are once again back in front. But just power football there, down near the goal line. Give it to him. He's able to push his way across.
Yeah, they went heavy there. Sometimes you have those big offensive linemen come in, have to report like they're eligible. But all they're doing is getting a good stance, blocking, and getting their runner across the goal line.
The extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And the lead is up to 5. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. Khalif Raymond now. So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field. And they had a long drive last time, but they had to settle for a field goal, and I'm sure that's how it felt to them, settling. They probably should have gotten in the end zone.
Yeah, not out-and-out joy, right? Because that's what you get when you put the ball in the end zone. But there are benefits to that type of a long drive. Your defense gets a chance to take a break, adjust a little bit, maybe get themselves ready to get back out on the field and play a little bit better. So they'll take the benefit even though they wanted the 6 points.
Yeah, maybe wore down the other defense. We'll see. Ball on the 27. Here's 2nd and 6. Goff now to throw. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Well, they've had success getting the ball to him out of the backfield, but this time they had a man right on him. He was able to break that play up before he could get started.
The Lions on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This will be 3rd and 6. Now it's Goff. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. Devin White defeating the offensive line and getting to the quarterback. Well, Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
On 4th down, Jack Fox on to punt for Detroit. Back deep for the Bucs is Devin Tompkins. And a fair catch taken back near about the 35, 36-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now, but Let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
And because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. From the 38 now, here comes 2nd and 8. They stay on the ground with White. And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. Now 3rd down is looming. A pickup of 2 on 1st down and just 1 yard there.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up. Now 3rd down and 7. Now Mayfield. And that is incomplete.
That's well done defensively. They get the pressure they needed on 3rd down. All the receivers are locked up tight, and they force that quarterback to just throw it away.
4th down, so Jake Camarda is out there. And he'll get this away into the humid Florida sky. And a fair catch called for and made at the 12-yard line. Time for another look at this Lions offense. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy? Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in 2nd and long yardage.
Here's Gone. He'll find Williams on the slant. And he's going to be brought down right there at the 23-yard line.
Even against double coverage, he found enough of an opening for a noticeable gain. 2 guys on him, yet he finds a way to uncover downfield for the completion.
A yard all they need, but it's 3rd down. Gibbs will try and pick it up. Goff on 1st down. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
I know we're just in the 2nd quarter and there's a ways to go in this game, but that's his 2nd drop. I'm wondering if that's a little bit of an alarm bell for them when they start calling plays on the offensive side of the ball.
His eyes already looking upfield on that last one before he brought it in. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Gone. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
One thing you hope to see out of a rookie tight end is a real concentration when the ball's in the air, and I'm not sure that he didn't, but he has to be prepared for people making a play on it when that ball's up for grabs.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Now back to the ground. Here's Gibbs. And now off to the races down the right side. And he's going to wind up getting this all the way down to the Buccaneers' 22. And this 3rd down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long. Out of the gun, they'll give to Gibbs. And he's able to break out of 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Jack Fox out to punt here on 4th down. Return on this one is the fair catch is signaled for and taken. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return, and the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. The Buccaneers in good field position here to start out 1st and 10 at their own 37. Mayfield to throw it. Here's White. They set up the screen. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
And that's not a play that you see all that often at the start of a drive, but some teams, they don't mind doing it. And that one, well sold by the offensive lineman. They showed the pass, and then they got out into space, able to get some good blocks downfield and allow the play to be successful.
Mayfield on first down. Evans has it left side. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. That's good for a Buccaneer first, a pickup of 12 yards.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Mayfield. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked up by Cameron Sutton, and the Lions are going to have it here at their own 32-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
The Lions now taking over late in this first half. And with a little under a minute remaining, we'll see if they want to try to put a drive together, possibly even take the lead here with a touchdown. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. After the interception, here's Goff. And that'll be caught by St. Brown. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Options galore here, 2nd and a few inches. Goff now looks to throw. That pass caught. It's Williams. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Now Goff on first down. That's to the tight end, Laporta. Busting through contact. Just wasn't a huge hole there for him to operate. Stopped just inside the 35-yard line.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. The Lions now going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. On 1st and 10, Goff. He's got it complete to Gibbs. And in for the Lions, touchdown. Jahmyr Gibbs as the first half is winding down. And the Lions have taken the lead here in the final stages of this first half. That could be an important swing right there, a touchdown in the final minute of the half to take the lead.
And I like the point you just made there. Could be an important swing because now that they have the lead, if they can carry that into the locker room at the half, they'll feel really good about what they accomplished in the first 2 quarters.
Extra point by Patterson, up and good. And the lead is now 2. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And Jahmyr Gibbs finished it all off with a touchdown grab. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
So we have reached halftime with the visiting Lions taking the lead to the break. As we send you a stone's throw away across I-4 to Orlando, there standing by is Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
Okay, Brandon, back to you guys in just a moment, but welcome everyone to our Creative Village studios in the EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. This still anyone's contest, a 2-point game as we get back underway on EA Sports. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The Bucs offense set to begin this third quarter. Well, Charles, in that first half, we saw a fair amount of offense on both sides of the football, and now the team trailing here will start with it in the third quarter.
And we both know this coach pretty darn well, don't we? Because his game planning is always on point. And now that he's getting the ball to start the second half, how about all the offense that you already referenced in the first half? He'll put that all together and come out with something really strong, I believe, to get things going here in the third quarter.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
Meanwhile, Mayfield's throw taken in by Evans here. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a third here, and it's good for a first. They'll try the right side here with White. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. So the opposite of what they envisioned when they left that locker room, a turnover on the opening drive of this third quarter.
I like your identification there because that's exactly what they discussed in the locker room before they came out on the field. Let's get the ball. Let's go down and score, put some points on the board, and feel good about it. Not an insurmountable lead, but definitely not how they saw it at halftime.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Following the fumble recovery, Goff. And down he goes, a Buccaneers sack. Levante David getting him once again, his 3rd sack of the afternoon. I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational. CD, that is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack is a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? But let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line unable to counter the pass rush. They've been teeing off all game long.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now after the sack. It's 2nd and 20. Back to throw, Goff. He gets this out wide to Gibbs. Calling a gain of 3 on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. Now Goff. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. Touchdown, Detroit. Jamison Williams, 45 yards. And the Lions take the forced fumble and convert it into 6 points. Patterson now for the extra point. And that makes it a 9-point game. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it was Jamison Williams wrapping things up with a touchdown. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. Back now comes Tampa Bay. Last time out, they had the fumble. That led to the touchdown. Not a great look on either side of the ball as the defense gave up the points too, Charles. But they've got to take care of the football and do better here on this possession.
It's certainly been a tough stretch, partner, for both of those units, and they kind of put their defensive mates in a...
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Kirby Joseph. And they will take over at the 26-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
Detroit's offense ready to take over. And they'll have good field position here following the interception and a chance to build on their lead as they start with a 1st and 10. Now a first down throw. Goff. Throw over the middle. He finds Williams. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8. Second down and 3. Now Goff. And this will be incomplete.
That's just flat out a terrific play because it's rare that you see a hitch route batted down. That means someone read that one really well and was right on the spot when the ball got to the receiver.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Off play action. Here's Goff. He's got his target. That's complete. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Goff throwing again. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, congratulations, Mr. Lucky. You know that's one that he would love to have back. That should have been picked off. Threw that one into a crowd. He's just so fortunate the defender couldn't react fast enough and get his hands up.
They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. Now they'll send a tight end in motion left. Here's Goff now on 2nd down. He's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. Jared Goff with his 3rd touchdown pass of the afternoon. And the Lions take advantage of the field position on the turnover to cash in for 6. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route ordinarily is probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score.
I don't know about you, but I can't wait for a few years of 2-point tries and see what the data tells us, because a lot of teams want to throw the ball in this situation, this time unsuccessfully. I just wonder if maybe running the ball might be the way to go.
With it moved up from the 3 to the 2, you would think maybe a few more attempts at running.
I think stats over time may bear out that running the ball will at least be the equal of throwing it in that situation.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you've got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. On second down, they'll run with White. He'll get 3, but it leaves him with a big hole here on third and very long. Not the start to the drive they were hoping for. That run doesn't get them much at all.
No, not at all. And that leaves them with third and long, which means you got to dial up something pretty good. Think your best player with a play that he likes to run best.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. From the gun, Mayfield. He's got a man, complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That was no 3rd and 2. That was 3rd and 16, but they get the conversion anyway. You need a big play? Go to your big play guy.
Listen, that's football 101. When you have to have it, you expect that guy to step up. A lot of people call these receivers divas. Sometimes just leadership when they get in the huddle and say, get me the ball. I'm about to make a big play.
The big play has them all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. They run straight ahead here with White. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be second down. From just shy of midfield, here's a 2nd and 8. Here's Mayfield. Over the middle, he finds Godwin, complete. And it's going to be another 1st down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 37. 14 yards that time for number 14. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. Going right side is White. And he'll take this one down to the 36. The tackle there by Malcolm Rodriguez. Second and 9. Mayfield looks to throw. Complete right side to Otten. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the 1st down.
They'll go up the middle with White. And some determined running there as he'll pick his way down to the 12-yard line. 15 yards there on the play as they try to chip away at this 15-point deficit.
A quality pickup from White, who really earned more time as the BUCS starter the back half of last season. Finished with close to 400 yards in the BUCS' final 8 games. Positioned himself as the leader in the backfield moving forward.
They go right back to White here on 1st down. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Now a give up the middle. This is White, and he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 122 yards on the ground for him so far. Third and 8. Now Mayfield. His pass caught at the 4. And I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. And this is going to be nowhere close. Needed some inches and ended up losing yardage. They'll get neither the touchdown nor the first down. And this long drive is going to wind up yielding nothing. Well, they knew who to turn to on 4th down, their horse. They needed the short yardage. He just couldn't get it.
And that's a surprise because normally that's bread and butter for them, right? Hand it to the big guy, let him go, pick up the first down. Didn't get it there. All credit to the defense. Usually, even if they know he's coming, he can't be stopped, and they got it done on that play.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. There to drop him behind the line was Logan Hall. Great effort.
It's real easy to say this running game needs to be better, but the reality is they've been given little time to actually find a place to run the football. It's almost like the defense is there on the handoff.
On 2nd down, here's Gibbs. Well, that gives them a little room, but not much. A gain of 2 to the 5. They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on 3rd down. Going up the gut, Montgomery. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. So they went a little cautious there on 3rd and long.
And nothing wrong with that. Remember, they're playing with a lead right now. So getting a first down, yes, that would be great. But even more importantly, take care of the football. No turnovers, no big plays for the other team, and keep the clock moving.
Here comes the Lions punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. And he's able to get it out quickly, and this is not a bad kick here. A 40-yard punt, no return, and out will come the offense as they take over. The Buccaneers getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time, they had it 4th and goal, rolled the dice, didn't get it. Now they've got to put that behind them, try to put together another drive.
A simple tip of the cap, a nod of the head to the defense. Congratulations, you got us last time. But you didn't hold us the whole time. We got down to position where we were able to be in position to score. Let's go ahead and attack again. Continue to have that kind of confidence, not worry about the one play that didn't allow them to get into the end zone.
And this time they'll be trying to get it into the end zone. We'll see what they do. From the 48-yard line, here's the 2nd and 9. Opting to run again here with White. And he's going to get it across the midfield stripe into Lion territory. Only gets 3 yards there on the heels of the 1-yard pickup. Sets up 3rd and 6. On the draw, here's White. And he's going to come up a few yards short. Brought down at the 45. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Now that was a big-time play by the defense. They as well knew where the first down line was, and they didn't let them get anywhere near it.
Here comes the Buccaneers punter now, as he's on to kick it away. And look at this, it's a fake. And he will not even make it back to the line of scrimmage.
4th and short in this part of the field. You just noticed special teams coordinators rallying the team saying, watch the fake, watch the fake. But Brandon, don't they usually say that on every punting situation?
Oh, yeah, they can be up 40 in the 4th quarter. That's their job. They scream that every time.
And this time, though, his team locked in, and they were well aware that it truly was a situation that they could fake it. And they were ready for it and stopped it.
And they start things off with a carry by Gibbs here. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. From just across the midfield stripe, here's a 2nd and 7. Here's Goff. Over the middle, it's complete. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And now we've got a 3rd and 3. Here's Goff. That is caught. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A good pickup there of 22. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Goff on 1st down. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Jones. So the completion good for 7 there, and it's 2nd down. Again, Goff. Got St. Brown running the quick slant here. And the Lions are going to be set up with a 1st and goal here as the tackle made at the 9. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. They'll run with Gibbs. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Give him 3 on the gain there. 2nd and goal. Again, it's Gibbs. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3.
Were you as surprised as I was that they actually ran it on 2nd down there? I thought that they would go ahead and throw it in every situation here.
They've thrown for 3 touchdown passes now. Here, I think they probably go back to the air.
Yeah, I think so. But ordinarily, 2nd down is when you run your play fake, your play action, show run, and throw the ball. Now they brought up 3rd down.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. 4 touchdown passes now for Jared Goff. And the Lions have pretty well put it away here in the 4th quarter. So an important touchdown right there is now they're really beginning to pull away.
Yeah, this was a tight game until not too long ago. But since then, they've hit the accelerator. And they pushed the lead up to 3 scores here in the 4th quarter. And I don't see them looking back.
Extra point by Patterson, up and good. And the lead opens up now to 22 points. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted but it winds up falling incomplete. Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass that we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game, and that was a big talk both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them holding them under 200 today.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Desperation time. Mayfield on 4th down. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
Before that last pass, 2 interceptions had already been thrown, and this last one tipped in the air, which means everyone on defense is almost fighting each other in order to get to the football to try and make it a 3rd. Once you've thrown a couple, it's almost like a swarm of bees going after the ball, and in this case, they weren't able to get there before it fell to the ground.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty, but when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
On 3rd down, Mayfield. Now he's forced out right, and he'll hit the deck, but he did not get there. 5 yards that time out of the scramble, but now they're looking at a 4th down situation.
And partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the 1st down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And Mayfield again with the interception, his 3rd. And he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line.
Partner's bad enough when you just can't hold on to the football. But when your quarterback's throwing it to the other team, that's 3 interceptions now, 4 turnovers for the game. You really have no chance to win the football game.
Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable 4th quarter lead. On 1st and 10, here's Gibbs. And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Let's go do this thing, baby. Rock and roll, baby. Let's go, baby. Here we go. Let's go.
2nd and 7. Another run for Gibbs here. He'll get only a couple down to the 44. And they'll need the 39 here for a 1st. This is 3rd down. Goff now looks to throw. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete. Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
Now the Buccaneer offense gets set to take over. Even though they were able to force the punt defensively, still a big hole to climb out of, especially at this late stage of the contest. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. He's going to have the hook up to Gage. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
Mayfield. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. It's Brian Branch with it, and the Lions are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield. That interception may be the exclamation mark on what really all around has been a good performance.
A fantastic performance. They will enjoy film session. Their grade should be very good on this one. And I think the next time the offense gets the ball, I just think about running it and getting the clock done and getting the heck out of here.
And by the way, semantics here, but before the grammar police come after me, I think it's exclamation point, not mark, right?
You're asking me? Seriously?
Yeah, you're smarter than me. Everybody knows that.
Listen, I go with what you say, my man.
Drive starts with a run from Gibbs. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. When this offense gathers to watch the tape, they're going to like a lot of what they saw. They put up big numbers, but they might fast forward through that last play.
Oh, there won't be any fast forwarding, partner. I've sat in those sessions before. You end up spending more time on the bad plays than you do on the good ones. It's just the nature of coaches. But I know sitting in that room, when you've had a big game, the night that they've had, you don't want to hear that. You just want to focus on the good stuff.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Let's do this, man.
And the Bucs with an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down. Now it's Goff. And that's hauled in by St. Brown over the middle. Oh, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. That'll go for a gain of 7, and it'll be 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. They work now on 2nd and 9. Mayfield to throw it. Quick hitter here. It's complete. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up a 1st down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, usually gets it done. On 1st and 10, Mayfield. Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense.
Now Mayfield lost the football. Well, one of the linebackers has got it, and they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. And they have to be feeling pretty good. Comfortable 4th quarter lead as they take over following the fumble recovery. Following the fumble recovery, Goff. Across the middle, he's got it complete to St. Brown. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 18 yards there, and it'll be a 1st and goal. And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
Quick toss by Goff is complete. That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5. A few moving pieces on that play because that was an RPO, was it not?
It was, but one important piece that didn't move incorrectly, the offensive line. Because when you're running this play, as he continued down the line of scrimmage, sometimes the lineman can wander downfield. And if you're more than a yard downfield, it's illegal to throw the football at that point. But they held their ground, held their spot, and turned it into a nice gain.
And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Calling a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they needed. Open man, and he's got Williams. Touchdown, Lions. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Lions have opened up a 4-touchdown lead here in the 4th.
We always admire a guy who can go through his progressions and find the open receiver. I believe we just saw that there.
And we admire him just a little bit more when it goes for a touchdown. Extra point by Patterson, up and good. And that'll push the lead up to 29 now. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Taken at the goal line. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. The Bucs ready to take over once again. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Now 2nd and 5. Mayfield now. And his throw here's incomplete. Intended target on that one, Russell Gage. And it's 3rd and 5. Mayfield. And that will be incomplete as well.
There's a quarterback who's learned his lesson. He's thrown a few interceptions so far. That time he said, I'm making sure nobody catches this one.
The offense staying out there. They're at 50%, 2 for 4 thus far in the game. What can they do here on 4th down? As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And he is going to have the Buccaneers first down by a good 3 yards as they convert on 4th and 5. And the drive stays in motion with a nice 8-yard pickup on 4th. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. From the gun, Mayfield. And this is incomplete. Oh, he looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in.
Gotta make plays, y'all.
2nd and 10. To throw, Mayfield. And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. Mayfield from the gun on 3rd down. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. It's caught inside the 25. A big play that time for Tampa Bay. 54 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
Going to the air again with Mayfield. That's complete to White. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 2 yards that time, a stark contrast from the big chunk on the previous play. This is 2nd and 8. Throwing, Mayfield. And he's going to be dropped. Back at the 15-yard line. Levi Onwuzurike charging in and finishing off the sack.
Brandon, that's just football 101. If you're out of the pocket, you've got to get rid of the football in this situation. You cannot take a sack in a 2-minute drill.
Working out of the gun, Mayfield. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
The decision made for them. They've got to go. It's 4th down. 4th down, Mayfield. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out. So take away the touchdown. It's kind of been one of those games for these guys.
I think it's safe to say that that type of a play just added to their misery, right?
To Montgomery to begin the drive. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Stuck for a loss by the safety, Antoine Winfield Jr. Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. With that, we say so long from Tampa.